record button because, I've been having a couple of drinks here with you. We're celebrating your birthday.
Hey.
And we just want to make sure that, we're feeling right for this episode. I mean, as our listeners know, I haven't been drinking. And, I decided to, indulge a little bit.
It's a special occasion.
It's a special occasion.
For the homie.
For the homie, it's Jamaine and Max's birthday.
Yep.
Shout out to them. Their birthday was actually 2 days ago. And we decided to celebrate today because it's a podcast day. It's Wednesday. It's podcast day. And, they got back from vacation. I just want you to know our listeners missed you last week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, we didn't know. And the host missed you because we didn't know how to start the episode.
Oh, because I want to talk about, like, eating ass and shit.
Exactly.
Look, man, that's the problem that got me in trouble in Mexico in the first place, dog. Me, I always talk about eating ass. Look, listen. I can't be doing that around the world, bro. Like, I feel like it's just not. It's only cool in America because we're not prude enough, but we ain't that out there enough. Because the people is like, hey, you just eat ass, bro. Y'all need to be sucking toes. That's the news.
Oh my!
Welcome to the Unsolicited Counsel Podcast. God damn, it feels good to be back. We're your hosts. I'm your boy Jamaine.
This is your boy Martin.
And honestly, like we said, we were celebrating my birthday a little bit a while ago. As you can see, I had a little bit, but
a while
ago, and probably a while ago, not that much a while ago. Anyways, but what I'm saying is, I miss you guys. Like, honestly, I think my liver missed the not copious amount of drinking that I did in Mexico, but all in all, it's good. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad to be with y'all to help y'all through some issues and stuff. I'm worldly now. I am now going to a second country.
World traveler.
Third country, I guess. Third country. World traveler. No.
Still North America.
Still North America, yes.
So, continent-wise, just not there yet.
I haven't gone across the pond. I ain't like our friends from 90 Day Fiancé just going to London and stuff, trying to get that British action. But
hey, shout out to Statler.
Shout out to Statler. We may get a 90 Day Fiancé episode for you guys. Let us know in the comments. But overall, doing good. Actually, you know what? Let's start it off right. I'll start it.
How you doing, bro?
God damn, it feels good to be back, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing good, man. Just came back from Mexico. I didn't get caught slipping by the cartel, so that was always good. But overall, like, the time in Mexico was really cool. Met a lot of different people, a lot of cool people there. And shout out to Jamie, my man did the legwork. My man was like, yo, look, we're going to be talking to all these people. We only live once. Let's go for it. So I was like, here we go. Meanwhile, my ass fucking drunk up, trying to speak like Spanish the whole time, struggling. But overall, it was a good time. It was relaxed. I got super dark. I don't know if y'all can tell from the.
Bro, honestly, I thought you were naked starting this podcast.
I was like, bro, like my black shirt and my skin are just blending together. But overall, like, yeah, the time there was great. The people there was great. The food was. It was meh.
You didn't have real Mexican food?
No, bro. I think it's because at the resort they were really catering towards the white people, bro. I was like, bro, what's the seasoning? Give me some salt, bro. They gave me a salt and shaker, bro.
A salt shaker.
A salt shaker and pepper shaker. I wanted to say salt and pepper shaker, and they gave me that salt shaker. A salt and pepper shaker that didn't work. They were just like, good luck, and I was like, all right, bro, like.
I was looking out for your blood pressure. Like, we gotta make sure that, keep your blood pressure low. No salt in anything. No seasoning, no flavor. Because if you add mayonnaise to anything, it's spicy. So, you gotta look out for these white people, man.
Look, all right, white people. I need y'all to, like, actually embrace flavor, bro. Because that shit was killing me. How the eggs? I was like, bro, these eggs are straight, like, bland. I was like, bro, you gotta put some salt in the eggs before you cook that shit. When you cook it, it's too late.
Did you go through the buffet line?
All right, first I did go through the buffet line. I did. It was only buffets in the morning, but you can get an omelet and shit, right?
Okay.
So the omelet always bust, always.
How's the line?
The line was alright. I got there early or whatever, and I spoke in Spanish, so the omelet lady really hooked me up. So she was like, you want chorizo? I was like, yes.
Chorizo and tapatio?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, chorizo? She said, oh, you like te gusta chorizo? I was like, hell yeah. She was like, I got you, fam. Bro, hook me up. Anyways, but overall, life's good. I'm glad I'm back home. Glad I'm back with you guys. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, just listening to your time in Mexico, like I'm really envious and jealous. Like we had to hold down the fort with where you get for you while you were away, and it's like you and Jamie had some great experiences, and that's some real like I know you guys are brothers, but it shows some true friendship there. Having you experience things that you wouldn't do, you got outside your comfort zone a little bit. And I know you didn't talk about this, but I want to bring up the fact that you guys approached some women while you were out there, and you had a good time.
We had to bring out Martine there without without Martine being there. So we embraced our inner our inner Martin while we were there.
Sometimes you just gotta go for the adventure and go for the story. And I think you guys brought back a story and it was great. And maybe in a later episode he'll share it. Or actually, you know what? If you want to hear that story, you can join our Patreon. We're working on that. We're going to get that out here in the near future. But you know what? Let's stop getting away from the episode. Let me tell you how I'm doing. I am drunk.
Okay.
This is something that hasn't happened in quite some time for an episode. I don't know where my thoughts are going to take me. I don't know what sentences I'm going to say next. I don't know what words I'm going to say. All I can tell you is right now that I'm thriving. I'm feeling great. Work-wise, everything is going well. I haven't been in the office this week, but I'm going in tomorrow. And it shouldn't be a long day. It should be really chill. It should be relaxed. I'm really excited that we're getting to the end of a lot of my projects that I'm working on. And, I found my motivation in the workplace. And I'm just getting back into the stride that I had in the passion that I had prior to things that happened recently. Personal life, I just got back from Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to see my niece and nephew, and let me tell you, real shock to me. Like I didn't realize I wasn't ready for kids, and so I was with my niece and nephew for more than 24 hours, and like I don't know if they were acting out because like Uncle Marty is there. Like I wanted to see him, I wanted to spend time with him, but it was like constant attention. They needed that. If I gave one attention, the other one was like, no, look what I'm doing. Have you ever seen Mad TV?
Yeah, I've seen Mad TV.
Stewie, like, look what I can do. Like, literally, it was like every 10 minutes, it was like, oh, you're talking to Maya? Look what I can do. Okay. Oh, look what I can do. And it was just like constant. It was like a constant
overwhelming. Thing. That's the word, right?
It was too much. So yeah, but I love my niece and nephew. I love being out there. Indiana actually has some bomb food spots. That sounds weird because it's the Midwest.
Indiana?
Yeah.
Like Indianapolis?
Like Fort Wayne. Like I was shocked to find good food.
You mean not Illinois, right? You talking about not Illinois? Not
Indiana. Oh. Indiana. Like in there. Like we Indiana.
We Indiana. Okay.
Indiana. Fort Wayne. They got a comedy club out there. It's called Snickers. I ain't go to the comedy club, but that's just what y'all to know. This comedy club they called Snickers. But anyway, it was a good time. I had a good fun with my family. We celebrated my nephew's birthday.
Okay.
Celebrated my mom's birthday and honored my dad. So I didn't have a lime marita. I honored my dad. Well, it was more of a tequila, but it was like, tequila and lime marita, close enough.
Close enough, right.
So yeah, it was a good time, and then came back home, just did some chores, got back into the ring and stuff like that. Not drinking as much, but then today, made the exception for the boys, Jamie and Jamaine. That sounds so weird to say because I already said his name was Mac, but
we're here, we're out here.
So like I always say, life's good. And let's talk about what we're drinking or what we did have to drink. Because I don't think you have a glass in front of you.
I got agua. That's what I'm drinking right now because we went to Dogfish House for my birthday dinner. Thanks to your boy. So we had all right, I guess we're gonna be basic. We had a pumpkin ale because it's September, bro. They broke out the pumpkins. It's right for this time of season.
He gave me a hard time when I was talking about dunking with the pumpkin. That rhymed and I hated it. Dunking had the pumpkin, and you give me a hard time. Then we get to Dogfish Ale House. First thing on the happy hour menu, pumpkin ale.
Bro, I guess I had to do it because at work everyone was like, "Oh, we gotta try the pumpkin. I was like, I ain't basic. Give me the apple crisp. It's gonna be my apple season. It's here too. So we had pumpkin ale, and for our birthday, they actually gave us a mug and they gave us a free, but they said a pint or whatever. And I was like, man, this ain't price. Like, but they spiked it with another beer. I think I was like Pumpkin Ale and a 90 Dogfish Ale 90, and Jamie had the Dogfish Ale 60 with his Pumpkin Ale. Overall, really good, very high, and I think it was because me coming from Mexico, their beers are so like diluted. Having that, I was like, oh Jesus, like that was rough. But overall, like it was good. Like we had that, and now I'm drinking aqua. So what did you have, bro?
Yeah, so I started the night off with a little bit of tequila. I started with the margarita. It was a pineapple margarita. And then I moved over to the pumpkin ale. I had two of those. And then we came here, and, your boy came in here, brought me back some tequila, some mezcal from Mexico. So I had to try it. I was like, let me just get a taste of it. And sure enough, he looked out for me as a friend would. He got me a bottle. He's like, hey, here's the tequila. I want you to take it home. Yeah. Add it to your bar collection. And that is like a perfect segue into our episode, because we're talking about friendship, and we're talking about the good and bad, how you may have made some friends in the past that weren't actually your friends, some friends that you didn't think were really looking out for you, and then you realize, oh wow, like they're in my corner. And I get a lot of flack for how I am as a friend, because I come on really hard. Everyone's just like, oh, he's an asshole, he's this, that, and the third, when I'm just looking out for my friends. So this is the episode today. We're going to talk about friendship, and yeah, I'm just really excited for this episode because, this podcast stemmed from us becoming friends, starting all the way back from college. Yep. And, we beat the story to the grave, but do you want to tell the story one more time?
I'll tell the story. And on top of that, we did talk about before in one episode, I think it was season 1, where we talked about friends as family. So we want to elaborate on, more like a deeper dive on what is a friend, like what are different levels of friendship. So I would love to tell the story, but I love telling the story. So the first time I met Martin, I got on the. I'm gonna make a long story short. If I ain't here, y'all can go into that, go into past episodes and listen to the whole story. But came on campus. Martin was there early. I think he came during the international students kept coming in. So he was there. How long? How many days have you been there for? A week?
I believe it was like 4 or 5 days.
God damn, you were there for that long?
I was like, nobody here speaks English. I was like, I'm in a different country. I do 4 hours in a different country.
Right, exactly. So I come on campus, during move-in day. And, I'm pretty much like on my own. I meet some of the upperclassmen, all this stuff. So go to the cafeteria, eat lunch, and then as I'm leaving, because my parents already left, as I'm leaving, I see a guy like with his headphones in, and I was like, fellow black man, that's not an upperclassman. I'm going over. So I run across the lawn where the dining hall was, and I'm like, hey, oh, and I was like yelling at this man just to get his attention. He got his headphone, obviously can't hear me. So I was like tapping on the shoulder. I'm like, tap, this man, turn out, slings back. He was like, what do you want? I was like, it's rude when someone tries to talk to you to have your headphones in, right? First of all, he didn't know I was even talking to him. He was blasting music. But at that moment, my man hated me. It wasn't like, oh, we were cool. Then no. Immediately hated me. He was like, who the fuck is this dude? Like,
it's funny because when my roommate moved in, I told him, I was like, yo, this is random dude. He just tapping dudes on the shoulder thinking it's okay to talk to people like that. Like, I don't know, you don't touch me. Then find out my man lives right next door. I was like, that's him. That's the dude right there.
His roommate, look, okay, so I'm from Richmond. My man Martin from D.C. So his roommate actually also was from D.C. So they had this whole D.C. thing. So my man was clowning me and slang I didn't even know. And I was like, oh, this is I was like, this is my boy. But yeah, so after that, it was just a long, because we were next door neighbors, and then I don't know, we just ended up being in really weird situations where it always stemmed to being a bet. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how. I think it was when we had our freshman RA introduction. We were talking. We were like, "I bet you want to talk to that girl," and I was like, "Say less." I bet you want to talk to that girl. He was like, "Say less," and then it just built from there. So our whole time was competition, rivals, like Vegeta and Goku. Like those.
Oh man, that hit me in the spot.
So,
that's true.
And now look at Vegeta and Goku, they cool, fucking Ultra Instinct shit, and now look, we're here, cool as shit. So today we're gonna be talking about friendships. So I want to know your thoughts on as we've gone through fucking all the stages of friendship. What would you say the general definition of friendship is, or at least a base level of friendship?
So that is a really good question, and something that I actually recently posted on my podcast, not my podcast, my personal Instagram, is that you need 3 friends in your life. You need someone to laugh with, you need someone to cry with, you need someone to grow with. And you have all 3 of those in one person, that's your best friend. It was a deep quote.
Damn, that is deep.
And I was just like, man, this is true, because you can find all that in one person, like, that is your go-to. That's someone you can come to and confide in at any point, and you can be vulnerable with them, but you can also have a good time and hang out. You don't have to just dump on them. They'll dump on you, too.
Oh, trauma dump?
Yeah, trauma dumping, which is an episode that we need to do in the future. Especially when you start dating someone. Like, when is it okay to share your trauma? I don't know, but maybe that'll be a dating apps part 2.
Right.
Dating part 2 series. But, no, I think a friend is someone that, you can have a genuine good time with. There's no, like, motive. There's no, like, okay, well, we're only meet for certain things. Like, you can just hang out with them, have a good time. You can share things with them. And, I'm trying to find, like, the distinguish between, like,
because that sounds like a best friend.
Yeah, best friend and a friend. Like, a friend is just someone you have common interest with, and you guys can just do something in that niche thing. Like, for example, you have friends at work.
Right.
That you only hang out with at work. But if you see them outside work, you're like,
It's like seeing the teacher outside of school. You're like, hey, yo, I know that's Miss Thomas right there. How they, like, outside of the school?
Yo, I didn't know they shop at Walmart, too. Like, what the heck? You supposed to be in the school. You live somewhere else? Like, you don't live in that school.
Right.
And, like, when you have a friend, it's just like you have, like, a mutual interest, but it's not deeper than the surface level. We talk a lot on this podcast about having deep communication, deep connections with people. A friend is someone who you keep at very surface level. Mm-hmm. You're just having, like, you have, like, a similar or a mutual interest that you're sharing with back and forth. I think when you get into that best friend range, just when you can be more vulnerable with someone, you're taking trips with this person. I don't think you're taking trips with a friend. I think you're planning out trips with someone who you feel really, really close to. Maybe there's 3 levels of friendship.
Yeah, I think there's 3 levels of friendship. I think, like, just like 3 levels of Super Saiyan or iceberg. It's like,
yeah,
because
I think the
surface, right?
Yeah, I think the surface level is just a friend. Mm-hmm. Then you have the good friend who you would do more for, but you're also not gonna, like, jump in front of them if there's someone shooting a gun. Like you're cool. I'm cool with you. Like, we have, like, A1 since day one type stuff.
Right.
I've been with you for a long time, but we haven't gotten deeper. It's just like you've been in my life for a certain amount of time, and I have respect for you in that regard. Then you have, like, your best friend who, you share, like I said in the beginning, like, you share everything with them, and they share everything with you, and there's no secrets between you two. Like, you're just honest and open with them, and I think that's the person who you'll benefit from the most, because you see each other at both sides, and it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just so powerful. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to be gross here, but, like, you being on this podcast with me, like, I've seen your lowest lows and highest of highs,
right?
And I celebrate you in each moment. Like, I'm like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have said that to so and so. But also, when you're at your high, I'm just like, yo, you did that. Like, I was always inside you. You didn't know. And
right.
I'm encouraging you, and I'm, like, empowering you. And you do the same for me. Just, like, I see you out here. I see you grind. I see you working hard. And the compliments that you give me mean so much more than a regular friend or a good friend.
Right.
Because I'm like, you see me at my worst.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think that best friends have that power to just make you feel good. And even just getting a text message from your best friend, you're like, hey, you thinking about me?
Yeah.
This is cool. Was she thinking about me if you're a female? Because, I don't believe in men and women.
I'm done with you. This is not Steve Harvey's episode. But no, I I agree, and I completely see what you're saying when it comes to like the friend levels. Because to me, how I see a friend is just like, hey, yo, either like you've known this person forever, where let's say it's like family friend or like friend, friend from grade school that you just like run into, you like, hey, I don't know, that acquaintance, like you be like, hey, yo, what's up? How you doing, bro? You talk for like 10 minutes. Because I don't know if you experienced this, but when I go back to Richmond, motherfuckers I ain't speak to in like 10 years. It's cool. I see them.
Hey, twin.
A twin. And I'm like, bro, wait, why you got like dreadlocks and like 2 kids that are like 10 years old? What happened? And then they talking to me. And you're like, hey, hell yeah.
Hey, yo, you remember Sharika?
And they talk about old shit. And then at the end, you be like, hey, yo, man, hey, yo, here's my number, bro. Hey, yo, we need to get up. We need to get together. And I'm like, yeah, true. Never text him again. So I mean, that's like you can see someone that's like more like community camaraderie, and like you can always be like, I know that dude. I ain't gonna talk to him. I remember what we had, but I ain't talking to him.
Bro, hold up, time out. You know the moment I realized I changed? When I went to hang out with one of my boys growing up. And I was like, you got any water? He's like, yeah. And then he put hot water. And I looked at him, I was like, you ain't got no bread? They was like, you changed, bro.
And sometimes it just...
I'm losing that one and fucking laying in my water.
Some real shit done. Who do that?
Bro, but like growing up, all I drank was this like fucking tap water.
Bro, I drink water out of the fucking hose.
Yeah, the hose, bro. Right? Like when you're a kid, you don't playing outside, you get high.
Oh god! We're seeing like a real friend. Alright, so that's acquaintance. Hey, yo, real friend that got a brother. That's the base level. You gotta have a brother. Your friend.
Okay.
Look, man, it's $75, bro. Like you got a job, bro. Hey, yo, man, what you talking about, bro? Tap water, fine. It's free, bro. You get that brother. I gotta get rid of it from my parents, bro. They ain't my friends.
Speaking of friends, sorry, I'm just changing the subject a little bit. But something that I heard recently that kind of it intrigued me a lot was the concept of like the day one friend. Because there was like this one guy who was speaking on it. He was just like, day one friends are like really cool. Like everyone's like, I'm here for my day one. Like these are my day one friends. But the day two friends, no one talks about the day two friends.
Is this Hannibal Bear?
No, it's not. It's not even comedy. It's more like day one friends. You're friends with them based on circumstance. Like you grew up with them. Like you give them the same social and economic area. Like you guys all kind of grew together. Whereas your day two friends are friends that you chose on your own. Like you met these people doing different sports, and you go to college or you go to work. Like you cultivate this relationship with this person based on a mutual interest and like a genuine interest in their lives.
Right.
And I don't think that gets talked about a lot. So have you met any people, aside from me, that you met and just like, I consider them a day two friend? Or actually, even before that, do you still even have any day one friends that you met growing up that you're like, hey, I still in communication with?
Like with my day, I do have some day. Well, I would say one day one friend that I talk to every now and then. Are like, our conversation has gone not as our like communication hasn't been that close because they live far, circumstances, and all this stuff. I actually developed more day two friends rather than day one friends. And like at first I used to think like, there's no such thing as day one friends. Like you go to high school. Really, the real friends. I mean, depending on with the college or whatever, is like when you grown up. Like you were there, like because we went to the same classes. We like Naruto together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is dragging us because we like Naruto. We play sports, so we bonded through trauma. Like this, I you know what I'm saying. So, but the day two friends, I have way more day two friends and day three friends. If we talk about stages in life, I think the
crying over my trauma.
Yeah, your trauma. But I feel like you said with the day two friends, the ones that you choose, I think it's easy to like forget that because it's a choice that you made versus like day one friends. If they're good friends, you're like, hey yo, they my day one, because then you got all that history behind you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's only one day one. I have a ton of day two friends, but only one day one. But I feel like my connection with my day one, my day two friends have become stronger because we went through other shit together. You know, while my day one friend, like we cool, but it's like you said. Also, I think what happens with friendship, what makes them stronger is to me is like how often you see them, how often you talk to them and stuff. Because I feel like you sitting on my couch right now, talking to me right now. It's like it's like you with a cousin or a brother. Like you just come through my door. Like it's like what is the word? It's like a term for it. It's like the back door friends, where it was like people that come in your life, they have to use the front door. The real good people, they can come through the back door. Because the back door is just like in light, like you don't want no one coming behind you, right?
Right.
You always got your back door because that's your vulnerable side. You don't see nothing. You always want to be able to the front door. So anyone that comes in the front door, you're like, I don't know you like that. I don't know you like. If I gave you the key to my crib and I'm like, hey, you just come in the back door, that's friendship right there. Like my dad used to bring motherfuckers in the back door. I was like, who is that? Cause they gotta come through the front door. Then he was like, I know this Tony. Man, who the fuck is Tony? What happened to Clyde? Like, fuck you, Tony. I was like, who the fuck is Tony? But that was his like. I mean, granted, he had the zone, but that was the backdoor friends. Like, you come to, or you get somebody your key. That's like loyalty. So I know I went off topic, but that's why I think like day two friends are more like friendships that's cultivated, right? Because I know you have some day one friends that you like, yo, I'll take a bullet for you. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll be like, hey, some people I wouldn't give my key to, even though you're my day two. I love some of y'all. Like, y'all know who y'all are. I ain't even a kid in my crib, but I'm like, God, bro. Why are you in my house? Leave! Get out! Leave!
No, but yeah, I do maintain communication with some of my day ones, and shout out to Ramon, shout out to Charles. Like we still chat relatively frequently. We're on good terms. Charles, I would love to hang out with you a lot more. We play Madden constantly, but you're all the way out there in Texas. I need to come out and visit you. Shout out to Charles. Ramon, I chat with you every week, and we're on good terms. And it's just like these are my day one friends that I met from the sandbox, and to maintain that communication from like the sandbox to now we're in our 30s now. Like I think that they've also, in a different light, seen you at your worst and at your best, and you can root for them and cheer for them because you've seen them in all their aspects as well. Because these were my two best friends growing up in like grade school, and to see them and their own paths and how they're growing and how they changed, and it's just it's eye opening. I'm like, man, I remember Ramon used to be doing flips on the wall. Like, I remember when Charles used to be that weird kid just talking to white women, and he still is. But it was just like it was just really funny to me just to see them all hang out, and we still have these same mutual interests that we still talk about and we still grown from. And this doesn't take away from my day two friends that I met through college, where I feel like I had more of an identity, where I kind of knew who I was a lot more. I didn't know who I was, but I was figuring it out, but we were all figuring it out together.
Right.
And I think that made stronger relationships with us because we were like figuring it out. We were also being competitive, the camaraderie there, the fact that we were living physically in the same space. I think that makes a difference because you're not living with your day ones. Like you hang out with them occasionally. Like you guys go to the same school, but you're not like, all right, it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., getting drunk, you hanging out after work, after school. Like it's a different vibe. It's a different.
Yeah, it's doing that adult shit. So I got two more questions to ask. One question, and we can go one by one. One question is, maybe our listeners are like, yo, I'm trying to befriend, like, I'm trying to be a day two friend to my coworker, or I need more friends, or I want to become that best friend. Let's do best friend, right? Or even, I guess, become day two. How can they become like that best friend to that person they want to make that connection with? Let's say they're at work, and I really think this person cool. How can I become that best friend?
Great question. Great question. Because I haven't figured that one out. But if I were in a scenario where I wanted to befriend, shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, shout out to Wendy because I could use that shit too.
Yeah, shout out to Jasmine. We're really close. We're actually gonna run a marathon together in February.
Run this high, bro. Run this high.
You know, we gang like that.
Gang.
But yeah, like I think that it just takes. That's different. I don't know. Like me and Jasmine are really close because we have similar interests. Like I think we bonded over the fact that we like How I Met Your Mother, and we would talk about that. We bonded over people we didn't like at our jobs, so we talked about that. And then the relationship cultivated us doing similar things, like both being a fan of fantasy football leagues.
She could like Final Fantasy too, though.
I mean, she don't. But like fantasy football leagues, and like we just grew the relationship that way. And then I think she saw me running the half marathon. She was like, "Oh shit! Like I'm into that too. Like I'm trying to get into it." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And she was like, "Oh, let's do this Let's do this real marathon." I was like, "You crazy for not doing a half marathon? You just want to go straight to a marathon, bro." But you do that.
No.
Like, we have that constant communication because we're both working towards the same goal, really. Because the goal is to finish the marathon, to run a marathon and finish it. And we're training together. Even though we're not physically together, we're training together to get towards that. So just finding that common goal, mutual interests with somebody that you work with, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
As long as you have like 3 or 4 things in common, I think that will eventually work out in your favor to build that friendship.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think having 2 to 3 interests, and also it doesn't have to be like full on like, hey, I'm gonna talk to this person every day, but it's like that if you're going from like, I don't know this person like day 2, right, to like becoming their best friend, it's just like that little bit inviting people to stuff. Like we met Jasmine's fiance at the time, wife now, at Chubby Squirrel. Shout out to Chubby Squirrel. Where y'all were getting cool. I think it's just like the exposure to the person, then that, and I feel like you have to have that bond, that 2 to 3 things that you can relate on that don't annoy you. Like also, the person ain't thirsty. Like if you try to become friends with them, don't be thirsty. Just like read the room. And we probably need an episode on reading the room.
I think a lot of people struggle with reading the room.
Yeah, bro.
Like knowing when someone doesn't want to have this conversation with you. Like knowing when someone's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to make you comfortable, make you happy, but also trying to get out of the conversation. Right. I think that would be a really fun episode.
Yeah, like we as Americans, we want connections with people, but at the same time, look, man, I don't know y'all in Switzerland, because we still got some Switzerland people listening to the podcast. I don't know how y'all do over there, but in America, it's like we get the subtle hints, like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But when our like intonation goes up, it's like, go away. It's like I'm done with this conversation. We just can't be real. But yeah, I do think the connection, or like finding people with similar humor, I think that's going to be a big thing too. If you want to get to that level, finding things in common and having similar senses of humor or similar points of views, that's going to get you there. If you don't have that, you might as well stay an acquaintance. Unless they change.
Yeah, I mean, I do have some friends that I worked with that I still kind of sort of text, but it's always about that niche subject. Like, I have a couple friends who watch UFC that I used to work with that I'm like, all right, we're going to talk about UFC and football, and that's it. Like, I don't necessarily care about your personal life. I don't know what else is going on. Like, it doesn't matter.
And that's actually a perfect way of perfect segue for the last question I'm going to have. When do you realize, or when do you feel like a friendship has grown apart? Because that's like you said, like, I got some friends that we have very niche things, but it's like, I can take it or leave it. Like, when you, even from like the best friend level all the way down to like the acquaintance or like friend level, when do you think? What do you think? Like friendships grow apart, or if they start growing apart, what is that? Like those signs and how to let it go.
All right.
This is deep, and what a deep question to end on.
It's a good question, and let me talk about multiple ways a friendship can end. Mm-hmm. There's one way where you're relying on them to do something, or like you make it an obligation. You think that you guys are in cahoots, or like this is how we're going to do something, and then it doesn't follow through. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be riding with them so hard, and then you slowly just remove yourself from that situation. Then you have the other times where you think everything's cool, and maybe that person decides, oh, I'm not growing from this relationship. I'm not building. I'm not becoming who I want to be, and they're just temptation for bad decisions. Like if they were like, oh, I want to live a Christian life, and I want to be a good person, and I don't want to be drinking. I don't want to be talking about sex. I don't want to do anything like that. They're like, okay, but this is who I used to be. This friendship represents something I don't want to be anymore. I'm going to distance myself. I think that that's okay.
Right.
Same thing if you're trying to live a more positive, grateful life, and you're hanging out with people who are just negative, and they're just like, the world's out to get me. I think that it should be, I think it's okay to separate yourself from that. And you don't necessarily need to tell someone, like, hey, I'm leaving your life. I mean, it sucks if you do that.
Come on, read the room, bro.
But like, also, if the person keeps texting you and you don't get a response, they don't get a response back, like, read the fucking room. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. Like, so sometimes people just don't understand that. Like, I haven't been in a situation recently where I'm like, I'm just gonna slowly ghost a person who I consider a friend.
The fucking meme.
Yeah, the fucking meme. Yeah, I haven't been in that situation, but I've had some friends who don't want to associate themselves with me anymore. And in the moment, I'm like, man, that sucks because I thought we had a good bond. But ultimately, believe it or not, I think that friends are replaceable. Sometimes replaceable. Life goes on, and life outgrow other people at different paces, and you got to be okay with that. If you dwell on it, it's just gonna stunt your growth and your happiness. You're gonna stop being happy. So
right, like, but how do you like let that go? Because I know, like, we talked about in past episodes, and I feel like this is similar with romantic relationships and friendships. They're both the same. Like, we tend to hold on to things when it was good, right? Let's say the friendship is just drifting apart, and you can't accept that. Oh, why this person can't text me anymore? Why they being flaky? Why are they doing this stuff? Maybe I need to do more. Maybe I need to do this. Like, how do you like? I think I've experienced friendships where it was really great in the beginning, but we moved on. At first, I was like, bro, this shit sucks. Like, I need to put more effort in. Like, maybe I'm the bad friend, right? And it just turned out that we just grew apart. And at first it sucked, but I was like, I'm okay with that. What would you tell the audience, maybe friendship or romantic, like, let's say their relationship is literally just like, maybe it's just drifting apart, right? I don't know, maybe it's a year in and old boy was like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you give the audience, what would you tell the audience? Like, hey, this is what I feel like would help you if you want to, help yourself get over it or like get through it. Like, why are you grasping? Because it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, I'm putting you on the box.
You put me on the spot. The spotlight's on me. Everyone's waiting to see Martin get canceled for his answer. Like, I feel this. And I don't necessarily have a good answer for that. I feel like a relationship and a friendship is different.
All right, let's stick with friendship then.
So with the friendship,
we do a relationship next episode.
We do a relationship, yeah. I like that. We'll have a KO on the ones and the twos, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But for a friendship, if you see you're drawing apart for someone, and you don't really have something in common with them anymore, like let's say that you're into anime, they're like, oh, you still look at that? Like, I'm past that. I don't
that shit weird. That's hentai, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I can get 2 shits about what Naruto is doing, Boruto his son, whatever.
Oh, Hold up, sir. You don't fuck with Son Goku? Alright, go ahead.
Right. If you have somebody who's like that, I think that, the friendship at that point, you have to accept that it's expired. You don't need to just try to grasp at straws to find what you have in common. I think you just kind of need to accept it for what it is and just go your separate ways. I mean, you can hold on to it. You can choose to hold on to it, but if you don't have anything in common, are they really your friend? Like, what are you talking about that garners interests? Or you just hold on to this person because they know some of your secrets that no longer matter because you're not that close to have deep conversations. So,
yeah, that's some true shit. I agree with that. I also think that when it comes to attachment, people grasping on is because they don't want to move on. They either are like longing for what used to be like, oh shit, we used to be friends, and what happened, and or they didn't find anything outside of them. Maybe they're so not stunted, but maybe they say like, oh, okay, I really like anime. Nothing against anime. Look, I fucking like anime.
Anime sucks.
He's a hater, don't listen to him. But I like anime, but some people will be like, this is all they know. Maybe anime, maybe UFC, maybe knitting and stuff. They don't grow.
Where did it come from?
I don't know, man. I saw on the Bachelor, like my man got a sewing. He a bioengineer. He does sewing on the weekend. So that's what it came up. But if it's anything, if you're hyper focused on that and you don't want to grow outside of that, and maybe y'all just don't have anything in common. People are so hard on themselves when they start losing that thing in common with the person they care about that they try to grasp at it. And we might need an episode on acceptance. I think that would be a big episode because a lot of people, myself included, took me a while. But it's very hard for us to accept things that are happening. But yeah, like I think that's a really good way to start. Not to end it because I don't want to end it on a bad note, but I feel like we've seen a couple of layers of friendship. Gave y'all some tools on like how to deal, well, kind of how to deal with, letting go of friendship. If the friendship ends, it ends, bro. Find some new friends. Y'all got this.
Bro, there's billions of people in this world.
Bro, we got way too many people in this world.
There's so many fish in the sea. Just go swimming.
Exactly, bro. Friends are so much easier to grab than partners. I mean, we're gonna bring that when Teo comes on that. But yes, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode on friendship. I definitely enjoyed it because I'm here with one of my best homies right here, and it's always good to be back. If y'all like this episode, want to also like, comment, and subscribe. But if y'all want to hear more on this, if y'all have any suggestions on different episode topics, please let them know. Where can they send us at?
Yeah, they can send us a message at youadvicepodcast@gmail.com for email. Oof. You can find us at Unsolicited Counseling on Instagram and YouTube. Yes, you can also find Unsolicited Counseling Podcast on Facebook.
Hey, yo, that tequila hit, boy. That shit hit, boy. That shit hit, boy. And as always, guys, we're here for you guys. One drink at a time, one episode at a time. Be easy, y'all.
Latest.